Hello, and welcome to another episode of Hotel Room Yap with Michaela. Feels like I'm giving a press conference. I'm coming at you live from Boston, Massachusetts with an important update. We're back to Hotel Room Yaps. Now, to you guys, it won't feel like anything has changed because it will simply be another week. But I have not filmed a Hotel Room Yap in 4 weeks. I really wanted to make a Hotel Room Yap at the Hard Rock Hotel, but I had zero time. That was the first time. That was the first time I literally had like zero room to breathe. I was barely eating. I was barely sleeping. It was crazy. That might have been the craziest week in my life. I know, bold statement. I know, but seriously, it was crazy. And then I had a friend's bachelorette in Tulum, and I lost my voice the first day I was there, so I couldn't make a Hotel Room Yap, which I really wanted to, at this beautiful freaking Airbnb. But that's okay. I vlogged it, so it's already on YouTube. You can watch it. But now we're here. I'm here at the lovely Hyatt Regency in Boston, Massachusetts for Fan Expo Boston. I don't know if I'm liking this table. I believe we're gonna have to do a quick scene change. We're gonna get rid of the table and just stick with the couch. Maybe we leave it here? That seems odd. Hotel Room Yap on the couch. Yeah. All right, I don't know what's going on. I'm not drunk, guys. I'm just tired. This is what I'm still getting my voice back. Don't judge me. This is why I don't need to drink, guys, because I am crazy enough on my own. I want to put my hood up. I'm a gangster now. What's up? Welcome to Michaela's crib. Guys, I think I'm losing my mind. I am so tired. Okay. We're vibing. We're veebing. This is a new dance move. I feel like I'm earthbending. I'm airbending. Okay, let's take off our shoes, Michaela. Come on, the decorum. Okay. It's been a month since I've yapped at you guys. That's crazy. So, lovely humans of the internet. Today, we're going to yap a little bit about flow. And no, I don't mean that time of the month, which I am currently finishing up. No, I mean the flow of letting life happen. Now, we've talked about this a little bit before. There's a fine balance between caring too much. I'm getting water. We're a little ADHD today. Can you tell? There's a fine balance between letting life just like happen and being like, oh, whatever, versus working hard and inputting a lot of effort and creativity and then being okay with like what the outcome is, if that makes sense. I really don't like the people who are go with the flow and just like, yeah, whatever, just letting life come as it may. No, you control your life. You control you. And this is why we're going to get real. This is why I have an issue with a lot of religious people's perspective, because they put so much in like, it's in God's hands, or it's in fate's hands, or and it's like, okay, yes, there are certain outcomes and certain flows of life, absolutely, that are out of our control. However, we control a ton of our input. Like, if you wake up and decide to work out, 4 to 5 times a week, your life will change. It will change. Your body will change. Your habits will change. Your digestion will change. Things will change. That's just literally a fact. Now, did God give you the discipline to wake up each morning and do it? Maybe, or maybe you gave that to yourself. Maybe he gave you the body and the tool, and you have to use it. I'm not even sure if it is a he or a she. We've talked about this. I'm pretty spiritual, but I don't attach myself to just one religion. I feel like I know too many things, and I know too many people and too many versions, and we're all praying to the same energy, and all of the commandments in each religion seem to be kind of the same. So I don't know. I feel like we're all kind of trying to preach the same thing here. That's why it frustrates me whenever things don't go a certain way. Maybe you don't get into a certain college. Maybe you, don't win a sports game. You don't get the scholarship. You don't get the job. You don't end up with the person that you thought you were going to marry. And it's like, oh, it's all part of God's plan. Yeah, maybe to an extent. Or maybe you didn't work as hard as you should have, or you didn't plan as much as you should have. And maybe you started out that relationship in a really toxic place and then you healed and the other person didn't heal. Or maybe you started out healthy and then something happened in your life and you became toxic. Like, there needs to be a certain level of accountability here. It can't all just be because of fate or God's plan. However, with that, I really do believe that there is a reason that you're drawn to certain things and certain people. And I feel like the more true to yourself you are in, I guess, in day to day and just in the pursuit of like being your best self, that will come with great alignment, but that means there will also be great downsides. Like, things will be cut out of your life so fast the closer you are to who you are supposed to be, if that makes sense. And I do, kind of agree with that. There have been some reels and some videos where it's like, oh, don't pray for the love of your life and expect nothing to change. Expect for the current partner you're with to, potentially end abruptly or end very intensely, or maybe friendships that you thought were real will all of a sudden dissipate and you'll be like, wait, what's happening? I asked for peace, I asked for love, I asked for this. It's like, well, you got to make room for it. You got to make room for it. So yeah, I just think there's a fine balance between accountability and going with the flow that I think is always changing, ever shifting, depending on where you're at in your life and what you're doing, but is kind of like the key to happiness, dare I say. I've been talking with a newer friend in the past couple weeks. I mean, we've talked for a while, but like in the past couple weeks, there have been some more heart-to-hearts, and it's just been really cool because their perspective is just so refreshing. They are truly untethered. They care, but like if something happens, then it happens, and they like move on. And their parents and like the way that they're raised is so different than how I was raised. And there's just a certain level of like flow and boundary. Like there's self-respect present. It's very palpable, but like they also don't seem to take things personal. Like if things go a certain way, then they're like, okay, and that's how it went. And then they move on. And it's been so refreshing. And I really appreciated it because I think as someone who grew up in a household based in fear of God, fear of money, fear of change, fear of, shame, fear of being different, just a lot of fear. For what? What the hell does fear serve? Nothing. We needed fear if we were, hunting and fighting for our safety in the jungle, but we're good now. Or when you're walking home late at night, maybe you need a little bit of it then. But it's been so refreshing because I feel like I've been around so much fear of mistake, fear of forgiveness, fear of solitude, fear of timelines. And man, that's stressful. Why live like that? Like even if you believe in a higher power, heaven, the afterlife, rebirth, regeneration, whatever, we are in this life one time. And why live most of it in fear? What purpose does that serve? Now, with that too, I'm a big romantic. I want incredibly long-lasting friendships. I want to be with one person for the rest of my life and like do life with that one person. And we will see so many different versions of each other change over the years. And I think that, while that's like a little bit freaky, it's like cool. I think it is so cool. The idea of like watching the can you imagine yourself 10 years ago? Totally different person, right? I mean, I'm like the same but different. Same but different, And like 5 years ago, same but different. Last year, same but different. And like that is, I don't know, that's marriage. And that's cool. Like, that's why they say to probably marry your best friend, right? Or someone who can be your best friend, because you're going to go through so many shifts. And so with that, you have to flow. There's no way for that to last healthily, especially for how I like to live. See, this is the thing. It's like I have to kind of decode this like hypocritical mentality, because I'm like, oh, well, they need to be this and they need to be this and they have to make sure that this is their priority and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, they need to be responsible and have some of their shit together, of course. But also, there are some days where I'm just like, I want to go to Spain for the week. Maybe I'll chop off my hair and dye it blonde, you know? And I think considering a partner in those decisions, of course, is probably a good idea, but not in a sense of control, more in a sense of just communication, awareness, being like, hey babe, I think I'm gonna get a haircut. Cool. Do you want to talk about it? Are you torn? Are you torn between, two decisions, or what color you're gonna do or what cut? And if it's yeah, then help. And if it's like, no, I think I'm gonna do this. Okay, cute. Have fun. Can't wait to see it. How beautiful does that sound? Oh, well, I don't really like if my person has, super short hair, and I don't really know if I like that, and I don't really know, and well, see, it's my person. All right, I hear ya. But at what point does that start becoming actual control as opposed to actual love for the person? Where's the line? Where's that line between flow and boundary? Yeah, and what does love really mean? I don't know. We're gonna get touching on too many topics that are way too big. We're gonna circle back around to what we were talking about. But I just think, in order to have like long-lasting, true love, you have to exist in a state of fluidity, because you're gonna be changing, and your other partner is gonna be changing. Your kids will be changing, and if you aren't able to be fluid, things will break. And I think if you can start to learn that for yourself now, in work, in life, in family and friends, that will then build you to be kind of like a strongly fluid, like a strongly viscous, it's like a, what is it? What's the squishy stuff? Slime. It'll make you like a viscous slime, where it's like thick and ever fluid, but it never breaks. And it's not like water. It's not going to just like fall through your fingers, but like it will bend. It will change. And I think the reason why flow or fluidity is so scary is because you cannot define it. You cannot describe the size and the container that it will take shape of. Like, it will just flow. And if you don't have answers, you don't have control. And if you don't have control, you don't know. And if you don't know, well, humans seem to not like to not know. That's why we have religion. I could be wrong on that. But yeah, I just think there's a great strength in being supple. So I think I'm trying my best to be that. I've been talking to somebody recently. Who knows if we'll still be talking by the time this video comes out. These are very delayed. I'm hoping that Yaptember in September helped, but they're still kind of delayed. But he's been lovely. And there were a couple of moments where I was really freaking out, because I was like, dang it, I think I like this guy, and I thought I wasn't gonna like anybody for a while, and then it just kind of came so unexpectedly out of nowhere, wonderfully. But I started to grip a little, and I was like, oh, I want him to, and I'm like, Michaela, relax. He's not the only one in the world. He could be the one that I choose. I can be the one he chooses. I don't know. But there are so many iterations of what my future could look like. And also, I'm good. I am good. And then so there's just these like whispers of like trauma and fear of like clinging on to something so that I like don't lose it. And it's like, well, as soon as you do that, you do lose it. I don't know. It's weird. It's very weird coming from someone who was so, I don't know, anal about everything. Just because I thought I was supposed to be. Like in high school with classes and college, and I thought you're, if everything was organized, if everything was planned, if you worked hard and you did this and you did all the things on your checklist, like, organization like that and structure is important, absolutely, because, on the days where you don't want to do things, you can still get up and get them done, and that's important. But when it comes to like mindset and just life, I don't know. I think it takes a lot of strength to be able to just flow. And I would like to try to find that strength. And on that, guess what book we're still reading? Please forgive me. The creative act, a way of being, Rick Rubin. We're still here. There are pictures of me in the sky as a bookmark in this book. Because I'm gross. Anyway, oops, I just totally lost my page. That's okay. You know what? I'm just going to read this one right here. The reason we're alive is to express ourselves in the world. And creating art may be the most effective and beautiful method of doing so. Art goes beyond language, beyond lives. It's a universal way to send messages between each other and through time. One more time for the people in the back. The reason we're alive is to express ourselves in the world. I think I believe that as well. And creating art may be the most effective and beautiful method of doing so. Art goes beyond language, beyond lives. It's a universal way to send messages between each other and through time. What a good way to end the yap. When people ask, when we talk about the meaning of life, I usually say it's to experience. This says to express ourselves in the world. And I think that can be part of it. But I think the reason we're alive is to experience ourselves in the world. Absorbing and expressing at the same time. I think the reason we're alive is experience. I mean, we literally, each of us can wake up and choose to go experience life in a completely different way, with a completely different mindset. But I do believe that creating art may be the most effective and beautiful method of experiencing the world. Yeah. Book ASMR for you. Well, thank you all for joining in this ridiculous episode of Hotel Room Yap. La 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 la. And may you go forth and hopefully feel a little less fearful if you do feel fearful. And if you are one of those lucky bastards that just kind of flows through life, not disrespectfully and carelessly, but just because that is simply how life works. I commend you, and I'm working on it, and I look up to you, and I hope that you guys have a great day. I'm going to brush my teeth and wash my face and call this boy. All right. Thank you for joining. And I guess I will see you guys next time. Bye.